I tell you what, do me a favor, just go on TikTok and just don't even type nothing. Just look on
No,
TikTok.
I'm challenging your argument. It's not about TikTok or what we see. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if a 22-year-old woman dresses a way and a 50-year-old woman and they got the same body, I don't see a problem in them, dressing any differently.
Yeah, and
Well,
I'm saying I can respect that perspective. For me personally, though, I'll give you an example. If like you take the exact same outfit and put it on a 20-year-old and a 40-year-old, whether regardless if they have a bad body or not, depending on how you want to represent yourself, it comes off a certain way. For some clothes, it looks like you're trying to be 20. It just the appearance of that, right? As opposed to, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard it being said that she's dressing and it looks like she's dressing and it don't look her age, or vice versa. A woman is
I mean,
dressing
they
too
they
old.
fishing for what they fishing for, right? We tell them all the time they competing for the same man. Soon as they hit 20, you know what I'm saying? We tell them all the time they competing for the same guy, right? So
so
I
you
mean, she's
just
just trying to keep up.
you just put an age limit though, you at 20, and the extreme is the other way for kids. So how about whenever kids start dressing provocatively because of what they see by people that are whatever age, grown, whether you're in the 20s up. So I think it does. There are both extremes, and for me personally, being having kids in my household and having to monitor how they leave the house, those are the things I concern myself with as well. So if my wife dresses scandalously, what are my kids going to do? Those are the closest eyes to them. So then my kids are going to start to then mimic that same behavior. So I look at it from that point as well. They are seeing certain things, and then they then desire to then put those things on because they're not stupid. They're not so like for example, if you see these little boys and they're sagging their pants, where they learn that from? Whenever you see these little girls out there on videos twerking and all that, where they learn that from? They're learning it from somewhere, and chances are it's at home. So that's how I put it. As for the age limit, it also then goes down to children as well because they're the most impressionable. So as you grow older, you would hope that you're mature and you then get out of trying to gain or garner attention, and that's all kids do.
I mean, women like attention. It is what it is. It don't really matter what age age they are.
Yeah, but it's like what's age appropriate. So there are
Well,
things that,
well, that's what I was saying. 22 is grown. 22, 50. Like I said, if the woman look good in it, she can wear what she want.
Yeah,
I just,
absolutely. I mean, anybody can wear anything that they want. But I got to say, me being judgmental, if I see a 70-year-old guy with some skinny jeans and some them big ugly Balenciaga shoes on, like, come on, bro. Like, I mean, you looking silly out here.
He
It,
fishing for what he fishing for.
and I'm just saying, hey, he can wear whatever he want. Hey, more power to him. But he looks silly. I mean, and I think the majority of people would agree with that. But nobody's really saying you can't wear that. Absolutely, you wear whatever you want. You just look out of place.
I'm an advocate of wear what you feel most confident in. And because I want you to be yourself. And I'm not saying that you have to dress skimpy or if he feels confident with his shirt off or whatever. I mean, there are boundaries, I guess, when it can become disrespectful. And we'll have that conversation, but just to monitor it consistently, I just with my partner, I want you to be confident and comfortable. So whatever that looks like for you, then that's what I want you to do. I think in my first marriage, I was that person who was monitoring how he dressed and everything and trying to put the clothes together and stuff like that. And um, I would much rather me already be comfortable comfortable with your style and what you look like and what you like to dress like and going into that versus me not liking it and then trying to change so much. That's really a low priority, like low vibrations for me, honestly. We got bigger fish to fry than what you putting on.
Okay,
mm,
bet. All right, cool. So that's the concludes the first topic. I just know that conversation happens a lot within these spaces and things of that nature. And I think it's interesting that women want a man that's a leader, but not for him to have control. I think that's very interesting. All right. So, but nevertheless,
So controlling and leadership.
Yes, because for example, I mean, you're a boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have control over what your employees wear?
No, I give them full flexibility. I run a very unconventional, not corporate like business. I do. You come in what you feel comfortable with. That's just the
So
same.
if one of your employees came in dressed like a bum, hadn't showered, you would be okay with that?
They don't do that though.
That's not my question.
But if they came in and they had on some slacks and some sweats and a t-shirt, I would be okay with that.
But I didn't ask that. That's not. I gave you a different one. You
I
said
don't know what you mean a bum is. Like they gotta smell bad?
Sure.
What are you
they
saying?
Comfortable and not bathing. Okay.
Yeah.
They haven't washed their clothes.
That's very extreme.
It is.
But extremes happen.
It
But
is
extremes happen.
That's very.
But
I've been doing this 14 years. That has not happened.
Okay.
Come on.
What may I ask? Because I don't know. I'm new to this, right? What?
And I'm an accountant, so we're in a black and white world.
Okay, so you deal with numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what type of accounting do you do? Is it true numbers accounting, money to market? What type of accounting do you do?
So we do small business, real estate investors, and wealth taxation, $1 million or more.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So you deal with numbers and you have to be very specific on the numbers, right? Black and white numbers, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you had an employee, right, that was fudging the numbers to get a bigger bonus.
We can't do that.
Right, because you're the boss, right?
Right, because we would get in trouble.
Right,
I'm not going to jail behind anybody.
Exactly, because hold on,
Okay,
because you would suffer the consequence of that person being under you as you as an employer, correct?
Correct.
So you have control over your house, over your establishment, correct?
I do. I have control, but it's not like a strong arm fist. Everything that I say goes control. That's probably why I've been able to have my team for as long as I have. Most small business owners don't have their team for 10 plus years, right? Because I'm very fluid and flexible in terms of how I manage them. It's very fluid. And because of that, I've learned in my 14 years of being a leader is that, yeah, you have control, but you really don't have as much control as you think. It's just like the president of the United States. You're trying to encourage other people to operate at their highest level, right? So in order to do that, you don't lead with a strong fist by being in control. You actually do the reverse. Give them flexibility so that they can be in a position of control, and then we define it and make tweaks as necessary.
Right.
And that's where I found success.
So, but at the end of the day, are you the boss? Are you the head of your organization? Yes or no?
I am, but nobody would know that.
Hold on. Look.
Okay.
So again, you said you give them flexibility, right? Again, you're still exhibiting control. You're controlling them the way you want to control them. Right? So again, give me a second,
ahead.
right?
No,
we put this negative emphasis on the word control when we have so many different forms of control and influence. Like you influence, right? And you hopefully train your people to be flexible and smart, and hopefully right from the beginning, you're picking people that you won't even have to lead, right? Hey, I hired you for a reason, right? Right?
So I think it's influence more than control, though.
Influence is control. Influence is more powerful than anything. Humble Dad know how I feel about this already. Influence is more powerful than power, right? Because if I can teach you exactly what you just said, if I can control your thinking, I'm your God. Whoever controls the paradigm is God. That's control. Y'all don't want to say the word because it don't feel fuzzy when you say it.
No,
but that's
it's not that.
control.
I
But
think
that's
when
control.
people say control, or how he said it, was like control, meaning that you have absolute, for me, absolute say in every situation. And I don't think that that's really the case. There are some things that are outside of even your control. It happens.
Yeah, I'd say, of course, there are things that we can't control, but then there are things that we can. And I think that whenever we are intentional in controlling what we can control, I think that's where it's important. And I don't think it's a negative word or a bad word. It can be, like, there are extremes to it. You could have your kids, running in the grocery store out of control, or you could have your kids chained up close to you where they can't go nowhere. Those are both ways of controlling. But then I put it like this, though, from a societal standpoint, as for the way that you dress, like, I'm not sure if y'all saw the story about that teacher in Canada where the trans teacher wearing the fake prosthetic breasts to class for the kids. Yeah, no, yeah, you got to control that, right? Like, you can't be coming to school wearing that. Another thing is these parents taking their kids to these drag time story hours. That's drag as a form of sexualization. Yeah, you could do it, but then what are you influencing? Like, I'm gonna go back to the influence in children. So I do see these things in our society, especially whenever it comes to dressing. Like, I'm not going to have my son walk out the house in a dress. I'm gonna control that. I'm gonna just be honest, and I I just won't. And as much as society is like, oh yeah, let your kids, let them choose, let them pick, let them have control. No, 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 no. And so that's just me, because I do see, if an influence, like what you were saying, Ricky, influence is extremely important, and you can have control based upon the influence, and the control is whether or not they're going to go the direction in which you would like them to go.
So to add on to this, you can have control without influence, but you can't have influence without control, right? And I say that to say, if you put a person in a leadership position, they make all the decisions, they will do what you say because they want to check. But a person with influence has that same power to do that. But Shay, people want to work for you, so you don't have to say everything. That's, to me, that's influence. Here's what I say: a woman should not be with a man that she does not feel comfortable with him having control, because it's exactly what it is. Now, I give you an example. If your home is on fire and you're not going to say, let me influence this fire to put it out. I just let me leverage my influence. No, you're going to try to control the fire, because control is a more direct on approach, so that matters don't get worse. So the real thing is, don't put yourself in a position for a man to have to control. Let him influence you. Like, follow his lead. If there's a certain way he wants you to dress that makes him feel respected, then follow that. Otherwise, you're going to see real masculine men. They're going to be more vocal about it, and that, to a person who wants to be more free, is going to be perceived as control, right? But I think a woman should not be with a man that she does not feel 100% confident that he can be in control and know that what he's doing is in her best interest.
I mean, that's in a perfect world. I think every woman wants a man that have that control. I think realistically they have to, not settle, but they have to take what they can get. And in a lot of cases, they don't like that option. You know what I mean? But they don't want to die alone and get a dog, so they'll they'll get the what they think is their not their level. You know what I'm saying? They'll go for that dude and they'll try to run him, and they can't. They don't want his influence. They just got him just to pay them bills for real. So I think ideally every woman wants that man that's going to lead them and put them in the right situation. But every woman can't get that guy, and some of them realize it more than sooner than others.
Good dialogue. Good dialogue. So that's a interesting perspective. So that's something that I always think about when I'm in these spaces. When women kind of have a conversation about the type of guy that they want. They want a guy that's providing, and they want somebody that's a protector, right? But it shouldn't be protect me how I want to be protected. You know what I'm saying? and then therefore how can they be the leader that you say that you want, right? And so men look out for their women, period. You know what I'm saying? If you my chick, I'm looking out for you. It's not an idea of trying to be controlling. It's a matter of I am trying to control the situation that may transpire if we out in public, though, if that makes any sense. Right. So we're gonna move forward, and this is gonna get into like the money type conversations. And I want to know when should finances be discussed during the courting process, right? Or do you wait till you get married, then y'all start talking about, okay, this how we gonna spend the money? Is it day number one when you find out that you really like this person? Is it after the engagement? Like when is that particular time frame that you would have that discussion? And we're gonna start with Shan.
I really think it's layered, right? You're getting to know somebody immediately. Do you have money coming in? Like that needs to be, are you employed? How long have you been working there? Are you one of these job hoppers? Because I'm not going to even waste my time pursuing anything further with you if you don't even have steady income. Once we know you have steady income, we need to start as we're building a relationship. What does your credit look like? What assets do you have? Before we get to the engagement part, I should already know your financial history and what you have going on. Honestly, like why are we getting engaged and we don't understand what's going on? At the, I guess, engagement part, and then we can probably discuss more who's going to be in control of finances, what that looks like moving forward into marriage, because everybody's marriage is different. Some people share bank accounts. Some people have separate bank accounts. That all depends. So how you want to move forward after marriage definitely is a conversation you can have once engagement happens, but I should still know something about you financially before we even get there. I'm not going to waste my time talking to somebody who is not responsible financially. For women, we look for security in relationships, and finances is a big topic of security. So if you're not making payments on time, what are we talking about? I'm not here to help you do that. You need to come to the table with that. And that's just me personally.
Who you got going next?
Let's go to Sir Charles.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I think I kind of want to echo what Shan said, in the sense that I think it's more of a gradual process. But the thing about it is, you can kind of tell how you're going to have a conversation about how people, what their money attitude is, their financial attitude is during the courting stage. I can kind of see how you are with money. I can kind of see if you're just throwing it away, you playing hot potato with it. Are you a saver, right? That may not necessarily make you a bad candidate. That just mean I have to manage the money. I'll have to manage the money, and hopefully you won't you won't be too opposed to me influencing you on how the finances are going to work. And so over time, because we all grow and our attitudes may change. So over time, you can kind of figure out, okay, this is what we're going to do. But I don't know if you can necessarily have that conversation, that detailed conversation up in the beginning. But I am going to get a basic knowledge of how you are with money in the beginning. I would say that, like for me, someone who is I think one of them consumerism people, the people who gotta have the latest and the greatest, and keeping up with the Joneses, we won't pair well. we won't pair well, and for me, that'll get them dismissed in the beginning, because that's going to be counter to what I actually my money attitude. So yeah, I think that conversation is gradual over time. Is my point. And we'll go with Shay.
I'm in agreement with mostly what everyone says. I think in the beginning you're going to see those patterns if you're paying attention. And as you begin to seriously date, you want to have more in-depth conversations about money habits and debt and credit and assets and all of those things, as you date and as you seriously date, and how everything should be divided or handled and who would be managing that. I think as the relationship progresses, that you do have those more in-depth conversations, and before engagement you should have a pretty good idea of who should be managing what, like in terms of the finances and how they would be managed. Um, yeah. So I would say, like for me, I know I want a prenup, so I don't care what we that's coming up in the later, like once we are at that stage. I typically put that out up front, like because I'm an accountant, so everything in my world is about numbers. It is about money and assets. And I know most people don't believe in prenups, and they say, "Oh, you think you're getting a divorce?" But at the same time, the things that I've built prior to is for my son and his legacy. And then what me and my husband build together will be for us. Because, if you have a great woman, then we'll be able to build even more and greater together. So that's just my idea. And Sir Hill, I'll give the floor to you.
So I think this should be discussed in the friendship phase. Um, Depending on what age you are, if we in college, neither one of y'all get nothing. So right, so just chill out, right? So, but if you date over 35 and you get kids and you're working, you don't want to wait until it gets too deep. You want to start discussing. I don't need to know your personal business, right, in the friendship stage, but I kind of need to know your mentality. I need to know how you think about stuff. I need to know, do you always need me to give you some gas money? You always need a little extra help. You always need something, right? I need to see how you conduct yourself. The other thing is I need to also hear your plan for your money. Like one of the things that I notice is a lot of women that I counsel and talk to, they know how to hustle. Like so, their mindset of success is how much they hustle. They do hair on the side, they hold a job, and they bring money in, but managing that money, like you could be making $75,000 a year, and it sounds like it's good money, but if you are spending 90% of that, and then the 10% for emergencies, well, it's better to make 50,000 and be a great manager of that. And that directly goes to mindset. So, I look at things like, she makes $75,000, but she got the Benz, she got the really nice apartment. She has to have the latest styles. I mean, the nice hair, and she can afford it, but she can't afford nothing else. And it's a struggle and stress to maintain that. Like that to me speaks to her mindset. So I will look at a woman, can she manicure her own nails every now and again? Can she braid her own hair? Can she pay her daughter to do it or a cousin to do it, right? It's little things like that. Does she have to have the most expensive clothes, or can she go to the thrift shop for a while, look really well, put money back? That tells me a lot about her mindset about money. And I think you see that kind of stuff in the friendship phase. Now, as it progresses and you start courting, you got to kind of get into the numbers now. I need to know where you're sitting at. Because if we're merging and I'm putting your name on my credit card and you putting your name on my stuff, well, you affecting, my hard work. And so it gets more serious as the relationship gets serious. But I would say initially you got to talk about that in the friendship phase.
Who you got going next?
Let's go with a prototype.
I would agree with most of what you said, right? The financial conversation should be had well in the beginning of whatever, as soon as you realize like, oh, this person might be around, or I want this person around. I think you should start having a plan on how you want things to move. And I'm talking about as far as the man, and you share that with her and if she agrees. I think it's one of those things that you use to vet as well. You know what I'm saying? So have that conversation as early as you can and let her know what you're trying to do, what you need her to do, what she's bringing in or how she's going to move financially and so on and so forth. So, and of course, over time, start implementing those things out. So, yeah, as soon as possible, I would say, you had that financial conversation about what's going on, where's it going to go, what the plan is, and where, you know, how things are going to be invested. So let's go with Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm with y'all in that. It's a friend at the friendship stage, and I think as you're scoping things out, I'm not talking about like, you know, like friendship, like we starting to date, like before that, like you know about a person, you know, hey, does that person got a car, their own car? Like, does that person, is it maintained? Is it broke down? Is it, you know? And I think that those are the things that we're judgmental about. But it's like typically we want to find somebody where we're at, if not better. We don't want to find someone who's not doing as well off and does not have a desire to do well for themselves. So it's at early on. And then another thing though, whenever we went through marriage premarital counseling, that was one of the things that they stress. They want you to put everything out there, so there is no like, oh, that was a surprise, oh, that snuck up on me, oh, I got blindsided by that. No, it's like you put those things like out there, like whenever it comes to as for finances, because that's one of the leading causes for divorce is struggles with finances. Let's go, Ricky. Have you won yet?
No, I haven't. Thank you. Money should be discussed from the giddy up, from the beginning, right? But I also think a lot of people, and I agree with all y'all. I mean, y'all spitting facts is kind of what it is. I believe in being observant. You know what I mean? You can only have money problems for so long from anybody if we dating. It's just what it is, right? So you should be paying attention to your mate. They spending habits. Are they people that gotta have the best of everything? Like I don't believe in setting a lifestyle. I don't do that. I provide the necessities. Anything you want extra, that's on you, right? That's on you. I think that's the biggest thing, man. I have an understanding that once a woman gets to a certain standard, it's real hard for her to go backwards, and I ain't gonna do that to myself. I'm not gonna do it. Now, if you want to do it and you break your credit card, hey, it's on you. The house, I got it, right? The house, I got it. Insurance, I got it. We gonna take care of this, right? Because I'm not gonna let you fail me. You gonna fail yourself, right? So, but it should always be discussed in an open-ended conversation. But pay attention. You know what I'm saying? You seeing them Amazon boxes coming all the time, every day without failure. You know what I'm saying? You need to say something, right? But again, man, at the end of the day, when it comes to finances, I believe as a man that you are responsible for the home. You provide the house, she makes it a home. You provide food, she makes it. She nourish you with it, right? So again, at a minimum, we not gonna get the slack that the woman get for blowing off money. So you have to be super responsible with the family because at the end of the day, it's gonna fall on you anyway.
I just want one other comment. Something I noticed, man, women who be like, I don't need all that. I don't need all that. I appreciate it, but I don't need all that. I think fellas look for a woman who got a little bit of that in her, who like won't let him just, because some dudes we be thinking you gotta shower her with stuff. We just like, if you raise that way, I gotta give her stuff with money. If you get your woman and she's like, I don't need all that, we probably do something different with that. Like that's a woman you probably want to keep around. Like, because very few women actually do that, because a lot of women's love language is stuff. So if you got a woman who like, I don't need the whole big ring, I don't need, like my wife did something like I'm getting her a new ring, right? It's a true story. I'm getting her a new wedding ring. Y'all know how much I paid for the wedding ring she had on her finger now?
I say about $750.
That's what you believe? I spent $43.
That's what I'm talking about.
At Walmart. And my wife, I'm getting her a new ring now. I done bought a house and the car. She got everything. And she said the reason she wants to keep it on is because it's a sign that the ring, the price of the ring don't mean the worth of the marriage. And I thought that was cold. I'm like, that's hot. That's hot, right? So I said that to say, find you a woman who get her nice things, right? You do nice things, but priorities make a difference. And if she's not so focused on material stuff, and she like, we could put this 10,000 toward the house or toward buying an apartment building or something like that. Like that's a woman you want to keep around, because she's going to help set up stuff. So buying a ring ain't nothing. It's a drop in the bucket because you've got different streams of income coming in. So just a little sound for brothers. Get you a woman who is okay with saying, I don't need all that sometimes. That's a benefit.
Facts. Yeah. There's this little girl back in my junior high school. At the entrance of the apartments, we used to catch the bus. I was like, oh man, I'm fresh from California back to Texas. I'm like, hey, she's pretty. Let me write her a note. Wrote her a note. She wrote me one back, and I read it. She was like, I like gifts. And cut. Immediately. I didn't write her back. No, I just turned the other way. I like gifts. No, thank you. Like, I don't know. Like, we ain't going two different directions like that.
That's the whole reason why I cut dating short. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, they want like you to pay for everything, right? Which is cool, but like if I'm going on all these dates, like I'm gonna have to be forking over some money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm frugal with mine. You know what I'm saying? If I got it, I'll spend it, and if I know where it's coming and going, then I'm good. But yeah, everybody made some very good points. I think that like I'm with Ricky, it should be discussed at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Because the relationships that you should be trying to have should be leading towards marriage, in my opinion, right? And otherwise, you just wasting time. And so, on your first date, I think Shan was kind of saying it too. Like, what you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? You have steady income. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, or what's your plan? You know what I'm saying? What's your intentions? Things of that nature. Because dude may not have the money coming in like that right now, right? But he may have a plan that will be beneficial for him to have money coming in, right? Just depends on where he at in life, right? So that's just my take. So anybody else want to have something to say before we transition to the next one?
Yeah, real quick. Dwayne said he cut them when they say the gifts are their love language. I never admitted this to anyone. But I swear when a woman tells me that her love language is gifts, I'm like, I start looking at her sideways. I promise you. Because here's my perception, and I know I'm generalizing, right? But women have insatiable appetites for stuff. Attention, maybe it might be attention, it might be time, whereas you might get a little bit of time, and then now they want more, or they might want, so gradually it increases. So when you tell me gifts, I'm thinking at some point, those Tiffany bracelets ain't gonna cut it. You want you want a Birkin bag, and then at some point the Birkin bag ain't gonna cut it. You want to. I just be and I really believe I seen it play out with one of my partners and his wife. It's like the gifts just keep getting bigger and bigger, and she thinks nothing of it. So I don't know. It's kind of a red flag to me. For me, when a woman tells me that her love language is gifts. Now, she'll never just say gifts solely. Of course, she'll say quality time, words of affirmation, but she's going to throw them gifts in there. When she say gifts, I'm like,
I don't think that's necessarily, I don't think the gifts thing is a red flag or a problem. As long as you're getting your love language in return. You know what I mean? So like if she's trying to give, if your love language isn't gifts and hers is, and she keeps trying to give you gifts, then that's the problem. But as long as she's giving you what you want and you're giving her what she want, that's balance to me. So
and I don't think it's the expectation. You see what I'm saying? That's what really kills it. Like I don't get this understanding where women think like most men buy their girl stuff.
Yeah.
Like what do y'all like? You would. My question is, ladies, why you with a dude who ain't never bought you nothing?
Did you hear what I said?
And here's the thing. And I know people might want to swing on me for this. I don't like buying gifts on Valentine's Day. I don't, only because I feel like a sheep. I feel like a sheep in there. Everybody flocking to the stores, and this is the day that I have to show you love because everybody else doing it, right? And what about the other 364 days out the year, right? If I just don't listen.
So that'll be on you to show that love to other days.
I don't like the idea of being controlled. Nobody's gonna tell me when to love on my wife. Nobody has to tell me when, and I just feel like that's a form of control. I am anti-control. so
you with Shay.
Say what now?
I said, so you with Shay. Shay don't like control unless it's her way of
Well, no. No, that's the difference. I'm saying, like things like Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day, those things like that. Those are marketing tools, and we fall into it every time. Christmas is even. Christmas is another big one, man. I seen people go broke and they bought what they wanted and suffer for what they needed, just because they feel like at this time I need to show people I love them by buying gifts with money that I don't have. Now I'm not saying I'm not even concerned about the budget piece. I just don't like society telling me when to show love to my person. I don't like it. I know when to do it. I know when to do it.
Hold on real quick, Ricky. When you finish, when you had
people for Valentine's Day.
No, I was gonna let him go. It's cool though. It's cool.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You hustling for the flowers and the balloons, and you get everybody standing out. I just be looking side to side like, this is crazy. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, man. I catch so much flack for that. So much because I don't like that. Exactly what you said. That's for the commercialization of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like just because of that, I don't desire to participate in any of it. Like I grew up Seventh-day Adventist in Jamaica, so we didn't celebrate Christmas, birthdays, and any of that. So coming to America, I'm seeing every opportunity they have is commercialized, and they quick with it too. Like once one's done, like you see the stores, the aisle is that they do the little seasonal thing is filled up with the next one. Mm-hmm. Halloween done, next one. Christmas done, next one. And it's just
it's the monetization of life, right? Y'all do understand humans are the only animals on this planet that got to pay to live here. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I do my wife's birthday and our anniversary. Those are the days that mean the most to us, right? But it's like I said, it's the expectation that bothers me, right? It's the expectations that a woman, you ain't got me nothing for Valentine's Day. You ain't do this, you didn't do that. Like most men take care of their girl. I don't know what the understanding it is that the expectation is the woman wants you to take care of her like she a real housewife of Atlanta, or you know what I'm saying, or the Potomac or some shit like that. Like you don't pay no bills here. The house is paid. I take care of the house. I take care of the electricity. Like chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I don't understand. But again, like I said, y'all with men who y'all got to split shit with anyway. So I kind of get the feeling of where y'all be going the way y'all going. You know what I'm saying? But again, why you with them if that's the case, right? If you're looking for a certain grade of man, but you ain't willing to, but you splitting 50-50 because you're not willing to downgrade your lifestyle, right? Yeah, I keep trying to tell y'all, once you get a woman in a nice car, like she could drive that Buick, that LeSabre, that 93 LeSabre forever, right? That Tahoe, right? But soon she get a BMW, it's a wrap. That LeSabre that took her all around the country, right? Did everything she had to do. Probably still put gas in it and put a battery in it and it fire right up, right? It ain't no good no more, right? But a man, I got a 95 Chevy, a 95 Chevy Impala. I love that car. I ain't never going nowhere. It never failed me.
Right? I still got my Honda, okay?
Right.
It got 300,000 miles on it. I'm just joking.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Like again, if you with a man, like what else could you want? Like if a man is taking care of everything, fine. What else do you want? You just greedy.
No, I think the thing is, a lot
let Ricky finish.
Women want to be able to show off.
No, I'm done. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
A lot of these women want to be able to show off. They want to be able to show off their man and what their man done for them and the things, And I heard this guy say at work one time. He said, "Hey, once you take a woman to Rome, it's hard to get her back to the farm. It's hard to take her back to the farm once you expose her to those things." And I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it is the expectation that sometimes women don't understand that this might be abnormal. And at some point we might have to downgrade if our financial situation forces us to, and you got to be okay with that.
And get you a woman that is for you.
Yeah,
like she may have some feelings about it, but if she's for you, she's gonna be rolling with you. And I do want to offer a little bit of pushback as well. So I don't want to say Valentine's Day is I don't celebrate it because it's marked. If it's special to your woman and she take care of you, we'll make that a special day for her. That's what I believe. So in all of my time, we don't celebrate everything. But if my wife, with all she does, if she says Valentine's Day is special, well, I'm going to get the candy. I'm going to get the flowers. I'm going to order something from Amazon. I'm going to make it special because she's worth all of that. The point that I'm making is that you can make that day what you want it to be. Forget it being Valentine's Day. If she wants to feel special on that day, and that's your woman, and she takes care of you, make it special because she wants it, not necessarily because it's been marketed to make money on that day.
That's
So
a
I
good
kind of
point, because I got some good stuff for Valentine's Day, back to back. Well, back to back for sure.
So I kind of want to double back what Ricky was talking about. Like, you take care of everything, right? So she should be able to be comfortable in, this year we celebrating it, this year we not. You know, I take care of you. So in that, and I think in most cases a woman would be. I think it is the 50-50 situations where you got to do the Valentine's, you got to do the Christmas, because she's not being taken care of. You know, she's not resting in her feminine for 364. You know what I'm saying? So she needs those extra days to be feminine. You know what I mean? So if you keep her in a feminine space, man, like those extra little days, the Valentine's Day, the Christmas, she don't care nothing about that, because you know you take care of her every day of the year. So it is what it is. And I
I
think
agree.
most women will understand that.
Your words. In an ideal world, you're right. Even as such, women still want to have a day to feel special. You know what I mean? It don't have to be every day, but so if you're celebrating your anniversary, maybe that could be that. I'm just saying a lot of guys think, and I used to think this way, because my wife hasn't. We just talked about this moments ago. Lady never paid no rent, mortgage, insurance, car. She just ain't. She ain't show nothing about that. And as a man, I'm like, that's enough. I take care of the bills, take care of the heavy stuff. Look, you should be appreciative. Well, that's my responsibility as a husband. When I married her and we agreed that I would do this, that's the job, right? I'll reverse it. So my wife does the cooking. I ain't wash the dish. I don't know how long it's been. I don't cook meals. I don't do any of that. Well, she can't turn around and say, well, I cook for you, so you should feel special. No, every now and again, my wife will just say, babe, let's go out someplace and let's just be me and you, right? Because you have a job, but then on top of that job, your job is to make the person you with feel special, however they want to feel that. And so that's all that I'm saying. We got our core responsibilities, but at that same time, we should be doing stuff to demonstrate just how much I love you and just how much I value and I appreciate you. And so if we're going to take this day to celebrate that, then that's what we're going to do. Even though you know that I'm consistent around the year, just this day is set aside to let you know how much I love you, girl. You see what I'm saying? I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
I think, okay, so I'll explain a touch further. For me, I would rather be off the grid. I'm not really concerned about what the rest of the world is doing. I really want to move to my own beat. That's why I subscribe to the minimalist lifestyle. I don't want to participate in consumerism. I don't do nothing, like literally in my own lane. And I've been very fortunate. To be with women who rocked with me on that same level, because listen, I understand spontaneity. You know, I could pop up and say, hey, let's go somewhere in 2 weeks or whatever. Can you get the time off? You know, stuff like that. And that's me. I like operating on my own terms. That's just me. And so if I don't know, I'm just saying, for a woman who would want to celebrate every holiday and this and that, I don't know. That probably wouldn't be for me.
I
think. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, Shannon. I've been talking. You go ahead, sis.
I think for women, I don't think that we understand. Like, I am the type of female, I don't want to really celebrate any of those things just because I don't want to be part of the crowd. And now that I am dating again, I actually get more because I just choose not to be involved in it than I would have with trying to ask for it. Like, who cares that it's Valentine's Day? I got gifts that I wasn't even expecting. Thank you, and I appreciate it. But it's not something that I asked for. Anniversaries are great. Birthdays, if you choose to do that. I think it's about what your household has going on. What is your plan overall for your household? Does that include all of this extra stuff? If it does, great. If it doesn't, so be it. I'm a little bit more, I'm different. I'm not like these other women out here. What's the bottom line? I mean, I was taken on a date and I asked him, did you go over budget? Because if you've gone over budget, we done. Like, let's just move on. You know, that was me. I pay for dates sometimes. Sometimes I slide my card. I have an issue with the way that a lot of women are put out here. There are us.
You grown, Shan.
There are us
Homegrown.
I'm talking about, like, I've known Shan for a while. Like, this is a thing. This is a new thing for you, Shan. See?
Because I don't have time for it. If I want to go out with you, fine. If I don't, it is what it is. If you want to spend your money today, good. I got you next time. We are adults. We are all trying to get somewhere. We're trying to meet goals. We're trying to do things. We're trying to leave legacies. So I don't want whatever we got going on to get into the way of that. Is the key thing. What legacy are we leaving together? If that doesn't include all this extra gifts, so be it. If you can make it work, so be it.
And I got pushback for Sir Hell. Right? Look, we realists. We know the world around us. We not blind or not privy to it. So if you got a man that's taking care of everything, you special.
Did you hear what I said?
You should know you special already because you know your girlfriend down there struggling.
Come on, man.
Your girlfriend down there struggling. As a man, if you got a woman that come home and she cooking and she cleaning, you know you special because you know your boy girl, he going to work for 13 hours and come home to nothing. Right? Why do people gotta be so extra? Right? When a person loving you should be enough. Right? And this is what I'm saying, Sir. It's not. I love you, girl. I'm gonna get up. We gonna do date night. I'm gonna make you feel special that night. Get up. Don't even. Hey, just get up. We getting out the house. Let's go. Right? Pull up. Hey, you got some hoop gold? You did I ever get you some hoop earrings? No, you ain't. Hey, pull up 2 weeks. Hey, I got you some gold hoops, baby. Just cause. Right? But then you want to come to me talking about I want something on Valentine's Day. Get the fuck out of here. Right? That's what I'm saying. Right? It's the expectation. If a man, like, I don't, my woman take care of me. Y'all know me. I love my old lady. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no expectation for nothing big because Valentine's Day hit the sweetest day. Nah, baby, you here with me. We cool. You take care of me. Right? It's that outside world. We want to, and other people want to see what it looked like, what y'all doing. That's why people do that stuff. Right? You special because I'm here and I'm taking care of you. You could be one of the statistics everybody like to say. You a statistic. You could be one of them out there. Right? So again, it's just the understanding, right? I hear what you're saying. I understand, right? Like I upgraded my boo-boo too. You know what I'm saying? Started off small, went big, right? But that's gonna happen regardless. It's the extra stuff that people be asking for that be killing me. Nah, your woman take care of you, boy. Chill out. Be happy. You know what I'm saying? Treat your girl right. Hey, that man take care of you. Fix him a meal, man. Rub that man's feet. What's going on? Right? That's all I got to say on it, man.
Okay, so I got some pushback for the pushback for the pushback. So I think I need y'all to understand. So Christmas, we don't really buy gifts. Valentine's Day, we really don't buy gifts. Because it's just pretty much what you said. If she was on here today, she'll tell you she don't need nothing. Like she don't want for nothing. What I'm saying though is that it's not really about her saying I want to spend time on Valentine's Day. I should be proactive to say, my girl, this woman to help all 4 of my kids, take care of my kids. It should be something in me that just want to do something a little bit more special to just show my gratitude and appreciation for her. So I'll give you an example. When I go out to dinner, the waiter, they have a base salary. There's an expectation though that I'm going to give a level of gratuity based on their service. I think that if I can give gratuity for a server at a restaurant, then every now and again, I can apply that same mentality for my wife who regularly goes over and beyond to make my life better. That's the concept that I'm talking about.
That's good stuff, man. I'm gonna read these super chats real quick. These are going directly to Ricky, and anybody that want to stream, you always can, right? Let's see. Pokemon says Matthew 15:8-9 traditions of men. And BZ, formerly Baby Zaddy, $5, loving the HD and Ricky Williams collab, positive vibes on a Monday. all day, every day, for sure. Appreciate my people being here, man. Have y'all seen or heard of the story where a woman had inherited some money, and the man wanted her to pay off his student loans, but she said no.
Damn. Damn.
She was a home school parent. I heard this from my lady, so I didn't get to read the story. And so the question was, who was wrong in the situation, right? But I went to go find a different one. We can talk about that if we want to, but I went to go find a different one. I don't know if it's the same, but the situation was the guy had inherited some money. I think it was like $20,000 because his pops had passed away. And he began to spend it on whatever he wanted to spend it on, like vacations and things of that nature, without his wife, right? So then the woman had asked him about it. And he said, "Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm doing what I want with the money." So then she comes back and somebody passes in her family, and she inherits a lot of money to the point where they can buy the entire block where they were living at the time, right? And he asked her, why don't we do X, Y, and Z with the money? And she said no, right? And so the commentary was who was right and who was wrong in that scenario, which I'll care to speak on that for about like 2 to 3, 5 minutes. What would you say? Who was right? Who was wrong?
Well, I can quite get the details.
I'm not gonna speak on it because I don't know what happened with them before. I don't know if she didn't blew money before, he didn't blew money before. Who knows?
So what? He wanted her to pay his student loans, and
This is in two different stories. So the first story was that he wanted her. He had taken care of all the bills because she was a stay-at-home mom, right? Parent passes away, right? She inherits a large sum of money. He said, "Can we use that money to pay off the student loans?" She says no.
I would say his wood ain't wooden. That's what I would say to that.
Okay.
We're missing too much context.
Exactly.
That's fair. You can say that, but that's the information that I got.
Right. So, what's the sum? How much did he owe?
It was about 5 times of what he owed.
Oh,
it was about 5 times of what he owed.
As long as if it has to be a conversation,
It was. She said no.
Well,
and that's an issue because that's not a woman who necessarily agrees or aligns with whatever vision you all have. Like
that particular story could be looked at 2 different ways. I've actually heard
missing context. Yes,
that's fair.
I've actually heard financial advisors say that you should never pay your student loans off. You should always just have a note for the rest of your life. I've actually heard financial advisors say that because the money that you're paying back, you're losing. It's costing you opportunity costs based on that money being invested somewhere else. That's what I hear. Now, whether you follow that or not, maybe she was thinking along that lines, like, why would I dump $100,000 into a student loan and get nothing? Whereas, perhaps we could just continue to pay the note. I mean, or whatever you call it, the payment, and just have anybody else ever heard that you should never pay your student loans off?
Yeah, it depends on how you're trying to hit your credit score. So you want to pay certain things, but but here's the real issue here. He asking for what to do with this money. I believe if this is your wife and you are in a position of leadership, you're not going asking, baby, can we do this with the money? There should be a goal or a plan with this. That to me is the problem. He's not asking for the $20. I mean, the $20,000. It's he going to his wife asking, can he do something with the money? That ain't the way it's supposed to be working. There's got to be somebody who is in leadership. There's got to be a clear vision and goal, and any money that comes in has to be applied to the goals that have already been established. So that's the problem in this whole thing for me. He asked, she said no. That's a huge issue.
Now,
So-
would that imply that he may be as financially knowledgeable or savvy with money as she is? He may be foolish with the money. He could be. Maybe she's smarter than
I wouldn't say that because he been handling all the business. So
Obviously,
I think that's
yeah.
a false
So
assumption.
I'm saying there's a lot of context
And
missing.
he's responsible
that's why
enough to
that's
want
why I
to pay
said
the
what I
debt off.
said. I
But
think a
will say
woman.
this. I will say this, just like that story goes, that a man's loyalty is tested when he has a lot, and a woman's loyalty is tested when he has a little. At that point, she had more money than him, right? So she probably looked at it like, you ain't on my level. Now that's another flip of the story. Whereas, a woman's loyalty is tested when she feel like she can crap on you, right? You ain't on my level, son. And perhaps it could have been that situation. But I know a real life situation where a man is not as good with money as his wife is. He's really not. And so it's probably best for her to handle it. And so if putting that in conjunction with me hearing financial advisors say that it is ill-advised to pay your student loans off, maybe she was going in that direction. I don't know.
Of course, there are lots of different contexts.
I know a woman will give you her soul if she love you, man. Like, so
that's a fact.
So the fact that he asked, like, a woman should never tell her man no, for real, if she love you like that. So he asked and she said no, and that's why I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? Something's wrong. Something's missing because he's paying all the bills. He's handling the business. You know what I'm saying? And then he asked her like, "Hey, could we fix this situation?" And she says no. There's something lacking, and that got to be it. Like, so that's why I said what I said.
I would, to that love part, I think it could be a lack of respect. To what you said, my wife in our first couple years of marriage, I think like 7, she was making she's working at a car dealership. So she's making 40 something grand. Right. And I was jobless. I didn't have any money coming in except for hustling as a musician. But when it came to the money coming in, I dictated what was happening with the money. Like, it wasn't, but the reason why is she wasn't looking at it like, this is my salary. Now, this is my husband, and this is the money we got coming in. He's going to determine what we're going to do with this, right? That's why I said, get you a woman who is for you. Right. Because when you got a woman who is for you, she submits to you out of that respect. And whether or not she's making more than you, that's not a bargaining chip for her to leverage power over you. So get you a woman that is for you, and you can eliminate a lot of these problems.
At the beginning,
go ahead.
No, I mean, to keep it simple, she doesn't value them as a couple over her financial security or whatever she ever wanted to do with the money, right? So again, and I hear what Sir Charles God is saying, right? But either way, that if you pay that debt off, the debt, the money he is paying towards that debt comes back into the house, correct? Right? So again, either way, she looks at herself above the family structure and what he was looking to do, right? So it was good as long as she didn't have to pay no bills, right? It was good as long as she wasn't responsible financially for something. But as soon as he tried to put it on her, she's like, nah, dog. You know what I'm saying? So who's wrong in it? She's wrong because she's wrong. So
all right, that's what's up. I got 2 questions, but I'm only gonna do one, and I want y'all to choose which one you want. I got the let's see. I'll scroll it across, and we're gonna see which one y'all choose. These are our last questions. Who should be in charge of the finances? Okay, that's number 1. And your money is our money. My money is my money.
I think question 2 sums up both of them.
Exactly. Let's talk about it. Your money is our money. My money is my money. Now, you know that this has been a conversation. I don't know how long it has been, but it has been one where there's been videos. I don't know. This is the internet, right? So it's things that are out there, but I haven't ever had the situation where a woman would tell me that her money is her money. I believe in the notion that it's our money, right? But the question is, how do you address that? If the person says that your money is our money, my money is my money, how would you address that? Anybody can take it. This is our last question of the evening.
Look, man, like I said before, a woman will give you her soul. So for you to lead, for you to guide, for you to handle. So any money or anything she has, she will freely give you. There's a reason why pimps are bad. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't. I don't understand the question because a woman will give you everything she is. So if she has money, she'll give it to you if she loves you. So it is what it is.
So I think it's fair to say that this question is one-sided because I ain't never heard that. Well, in the case of the pimp, I've never heard a dude say, "My money is my money, your money is our money." So I think it's fair to say it this way.
Hey.
But you get a person who can think like this, that ain't the person for you. What they're telling you is that they're going to become attached to your life. And if you're trying to get married to have somebody with you to go through life with, you can't have somebody like that. That kind of person will be looking for the next thing. And when they find it, they will jump from you to the next person. And it's sad to say this, including a lot of men today. I typically don't say things like this, but I've seen there's a group of 35, 40, 45, 50-year-old men that haven't established the basics of life. Now, I love what Brother Ricky said, and I take that mindset 100%. It ain't about having the biggest house or the nicest car. It's having your basics in order. And there are a lot of men who don't have their basics together. And so as long as let's say he do use that good wood, right? He goes from one woman, and when he can level up, he goes to another woman. And of course, we know women do this as well. So the general rule, if somebody doesn't see what y'all are doing and it's coming into a pot for us, and there's a clear goal in that, it's really just about them, and you choose to go on with that, that means you're insecure and you need something from them, and you're willing to mortgage your future to have it, right? If somebody is saying that all of y'all stuff is theirs and theirs is theirs, they're communicating that they're selfish. And if you choose to go forward with it, you kind of have to expect anything you get from that.
It's simple. Like, they're a liability. That's the easiest way to put it. Somebody who tells you that they're a liability. They're not an asset. This is no, it could be specific cases. Fuck all that. Excuse my language. Right? Fuck all that. Nah, bro. They're a liability. They're willing to take from you and not give. Do with that what you will. Stupid. You want to be stupid? Go ahead and be stupid. That's all I got.
Ladies,
I agree. I mean, I have nothing major to add. I agree with what Ricky said and what Sir Hale said completely.
Yeah, ditto. I second, third, fourth that.
Okay, cool. So then, that was going to be the last question, but see y'all answer so quickly. Okay, so then I like what Sir Hale was going. He said that his wife was making more money than him at the time, right? Now, how do we kind of help these young people or people that are married understand that you making the most money doesn't make you the leader? That's how we had that conversation with the young people. Not necessarily talking to your spouse, but talking to the people that are listening, men and women. Just because whoever makes the most money doesn't determine their leadership. What would you say to that?
That's a difficult question. I mean, you're saying, so let me understand. Mm-hmm. Whoever doesn't make the most money, repeat the question.
Sorry, whoever makes the most money doesn't make them the leader.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about marriage, the man should be leading. Are you asking who controls the money or who does the finances? Because your man is your head, so they should be leading.
So they can run together, right? Like, because this is the talking point in the space, Shan, is that women want a man that makes the same as them or more. If they make more, then they feel like they should have the say so.
So
that's what are your goals together? What have you all agreed on in your household that you're trying to build towards, that you're trying to accomplish? What are your goals? If the conversation gets outside of that, then y'all are not on the same page. It always has to come back to what your goals are, period, point blank. Like, there's no other conversation. So if he bringing home 20,000 and you bringing home 60, his 20 is contributing to the goals, right? Period. If that's where he is at the time that you marry him, then you already knew what you were getting into. What are your goals at that level? You're helping him or he's helping, whatever the case is, to get to another level. Once you get there, set new goals. What are you guys doing? You know, who's working the money? Who's better at it? In my marriage, I allowed my ex-husband to lead financially. That did not work out. I am better at it. You know what I mean? And we had budget meetings, you know, so that we don't lose his sense of control and leadership. What are we working on together? And I made more money. So how are we bringing that together? What are we talking about? And are we accomplishing those goals? How do we fix it? How do we go back? How do we adjust? That really at the end of the day needs to be what needs to happen in
I
a
think
marriage that is successful and works.
And
I
can
think
go ahead,
I think this interesting scenario comes with he has to be able to like lead her in something, right? So I think it comes down to like a spiritual guidance. You know what I mean? Like he has to be able to like intellectually lead her and stimulate her that way, which would grant him the leadership or the respect that garner the respect from her. So if he could do that, he has to lead her in some shape, form, or fashion. And typically when a woman makes more money, it's a spiritual, like he's the intellectual one. You know what I'm saying? So that's generally how I've seen that play out. And I just think he has to lead in some way. In that particular case, it's always a spiritual, like if he's a deacon or something like that, and she makes money, or something of the sort. But he has to do something to have better leadership, show some type of leadership for her to be submissive that way.
I think that we have difficulty with is that we keep saying your money, my money.
Shay, you can go after Shane.
Our money. I think that's where we mess up. We come into these marriages. Yes, when you were single, it was your money, and when he was single, it was his money. You are together. You are one. You have come together. It is about us. That whole what you got going on, what I got going on, that needs to be taken out of the equation. We are now a we. We are now a one. We're not two separate people. Yes, we have our own things, but when it comes to those things, we are one. And I think that's what we get messed up. I'm sorry, Shay. Go ahead, sweetie.
No, you're fine. I was just saying, I don't think the amount of money matters to say, oh, my husband is the leader or not. He's the leader regardless, right? And so now who manages it, in my opinion, should be the one who can best manage the money. I know the man, if he's a good money manager, then he manages the money. And it doesn't depend, and it's not dependent upon who makes the most money or who makes the least, especially if you're married. I mean, collectively, it's what you bring in together anyway. It's not what I bring in or what he brings in, etc. But my motto or whatever for my home is like whoever is the best manager for it. And it goes back to what Prototype says too. When a woman is truly in love with that man, we give whatever, right? And so it's very easy to submit to his leadership and everything for the house.
I agree with that. Prototype, you said something that I really like, ma'am. You pulled out the point about he's got to lead in something, even if that's like the spiritual part. I think that was fundamental. The other part that I want to add to this is that it's really, leadership ain't about money. So let's say my wife is better at money. Like she good at it, right? Being good at one aspect doesn't make you the leader of a marriage. It's about who's responsible, right? So like, let's say she makes more money. If the mortgage don't get paid, that's on me, right? If the car don't get paid, insurance, that's on me, even if she makes more. And that's the responsibility that husbands take on. And when we say that I'm your covering, that means these basic things I got covered. And it doesn't mean that wife can't be better at something. But I think that's where so many people get it wrong. And it shows the lack of experience. I notice people who think the more money you get, that makes you the leader. They really never had none. They never managed anything. And they're trying to live a lifestyle. They don't have clear goals. So it's a difference. So like, let's say you earn $100,000 and you just trying to show off because you got $100,000 versus you built that salary because you're trying to build this home, trying to establish a family. What you get is seen differently because there's clear goals to that. And I think that's where some of the people lack. We live for people to say, man, girl, you winning, girl, you getting the bag. We're not living to say, I got a family now, and this is what a wife should do. I would even go so far to say this. I think wives should work and make as much money as they can. And the reason they're doing this is because they're trying to accelerate the amount of effort that the man has to put in to take care of everybody. So if this means my wife can work for 15 years and we can retire about 45, 50 instead of waiting until we 60 and can barely walk, then that's what a good help me does. And it doesn't mean that she makes more than me. Now she's the leader. It's like, no, she helped our marriage to get to a place where we can enjoy our grandkids without our backs being broken. We don't have any debt. We can buy assets. If you are part of a church, we can go back and give back. But that's how it's supposed to be. But when you lack those goals, money is used as a source of power against each other instead of a tool to help you guys to accomplish your life goals. So that's what I'm saying. So making more money doesn't make you the leader, man or woman. Responsibility does. And that responsibility typically should fall on the husband.
Right. And hold on to the commenter. Yes, it says the woman who wants a prenup because that is what is mine before marriage. I agree with that. But once I am married, what's ours is ours. And I know how to give me $1. I know how to build $1 million. I do it. So what's my son is for him. And I stand on that, says the woman who wants the prenup, and my husband signs the prenup.
I think just to say a little bit of how I think a legacy is a man's goal. I don't think women necessarily care about legacy unless they can benefit from that man in their legacy. Like if they can accomplish what they want out of that man having his legacy, I don't think she minds being a part of that. But I think generally the legacy thing and the grandkids, and I think that's a man's vision. That's not a woman's vision.
I think initially you're correct. It should become her vision once her man communicates it. And that's why she's a helpmate. Like I love what Shay just said. Give me $1 and I can make it more. Like that's a wife. A wife should multiply and accelerate her husband's plans.
Go ahead, Ricky.
I think how we change it for the people is, especially the young folks, is teach them that money is a tool to build a better family. That not that to build a better family in marriage, not that marriage is a tool to build money.
You're not gonna drop your sound bit on that?
Wait.
You're not gonna drop the sound bit on that?
Say that again, Rick.
Again, we have this idea. You know the routine. Marriage is a business, right? No, people look at marriage now as a way to get wealth when money is simply a tool for you to establish and build a better family. Right? We got the roles reversed. Right? Y'all get married so y'all can get money. Oh, he got the bag. Oh, she making this much money. Oh, I'll be able to get the car I want if I'm with him. I'm able to get the big house if we together, right? Y'all ain't together. Like we supposed to be together because we rock. Because we rock together. Right? But y'all sell y'all partner out, right? You will sell your partner out so you can put your kid in some Louis Vuitton shoes. Right? It's all about this look. It's all about the glare. It's all about what people on the outside see. Money is simply a tool for you to build your family to be better. But a lot of y'all stab y'all own mama and daddies in the back for $1.
Did you hear what I said?
But I do think that the evidence of marriage is the harvest, like of you two coming together to reproduce, like be fruitful and multiply. And you should see the fruits of your marriage, whether that's in your children, whether that's in the love, financially, spiritually. I do think that there is fruit that should be grown from having that marriage, and finances is a part of it. But at the core, I do agree, Ricky. It's like y'all should come together because that's what y'all should do. And then, but from that, it should be productive. There should be some evidence, I guess.
Yeah, I think whenever it comes to the pay, we're sacrificing something in order to acquire. So whether we work a 9 to 5, if it's you're sacrificing time away from your family in order to go and gather. So at the end of the day, if you have both parents are going out and getting that bag, they're sacrificing, allowing somebody else to then raise their kids. So we have to look at it whether that's worth it or not. Some people decide not to have their kids go to public school and keep them at home and do homeschooling. That's a sacrifice. So I think a part of the relationship goals have to be set up front on what they're willing to sacrifice on, or what is critically important and what's not. So from my standpoint, I could care less who makes more, just as long as the house is taken care of first. Because I look at a lot of men who have regrets that they go out there and they get it, right, and then they don't. They chase that bag, but then the time that they get to spend with their family is limited. So I do find that that to be interesting as well. Went on a little tour at work, asking some of our VPs, that've been there for close to 30 years, like something that they regret, and a couple of them said as of the time that they spent with their family, because they were out there chasing, building companies rather than looking out for their kids. So I do find that piece to be important. But yeah, if you make more money, like it just depends on if you're putting it towards the family goals or not. Not only that, as a form of inheritance, the Bible says it's a good inheritance to leave. It's a good thing to leave an inheritance for your grandkids. So from that standpoint, like you, as a relationship goal, it's to build. And what you're building is not something just for yourself. You're also building it for your kids and then your kids' kids. So same thing from the spiritual piece that y'all were talking about, right? You're having to pour in somehow, and an inheritance is not just finances; it's also then what they learn. So they're looking also as money management, life management, time management. They're looking for a lot of these things. They're watching a lot of these things as for the movement. So whenever it comes as for selfishness, for me, like if you over there stacking nets for a rainy time, to me that's, you got one foot out the door. And for me, that's you're not committed to me. And once I see that does not bring me reassurance or security. So from that standpoint, I know one of the most important things for women is security. So for that, like, hey, just like Bob Marley said, like, as for all my cards are on the table, I'm not playing no games. You know what it is. So, hey, we set those goals and then we try and achieve them together. If somebody strays off, we try and corral them in, but hey, and remind them of the goals.
Can I add two things to what Dwayne said? I think that's a really good point. And I think Ricky said this as well. Somebody said it about something to do about kids. I think we have to start teaching this as kids, because a lot of us, if you were raised without thinking this way, it's going to be like it's going to be a world change when you meet somebody and y'all talking about putting stuff together and it's us and it's we put this in one pot, we got goals. So it's important that we as parents, we start conditioning our kids to understand how to work with somebody growing up so that it's not a shock to them when they have to. And I think that that's why so many women today have that pot to the side. And I did a couple streams because I do believe that marriage is a business. I believe my wife is my business. I take care of her. But I talked about that because a lot of us were raised to be fearful. So go get your degree, go get an education, go make some money so that in case it doesn't work out, you can always land on your feet. That's fear-based teaching. And I think a lot of the women who adopt that, let me put some money to the side for a rainy day, want love, but are operating in fear. And we know that perfect love casts out fear. So I think we got to start teaching that to our kids early on so that they have that mindset and we don't have to hurt each other and argue so much to fix something that could have been established in our youth. So parents, teach your kids that when they get older, it's about working with the person that they're with, and quit instilling fear in our kids just because our relationships didn't work out.
That was dope, man. I really appreciate y'all time. Once again, it's been a phenomenal show. Appreciate the chat. Definitely love the back chat. Like, they don't know where it be. Hey, that's where it's at. All right. Shout out to Prototype. Got a show tomorrow, 9:00 Eastern, right?
Eastern, yep. We're talking about God and man. Come check us out.
That's a bet. Then you got Miss Tax Season, Shay McKnuckles. Go check her out on Instagram. And then Shan, she stopped doing the TikTok videos. She does hair on the side.
Got other things that I've got going on.
She's a hustler. She's a hustler. Just want you to know. All right. Sister in love. Then you got Sir Charles the Guy. Tell them about where you at again. I always forget where you.
Yeah, I'm on all social media handles, and I have a struggling channel on YouTube. Come offer it some CPR. Chest compressions, mouth to mouth. Remember the breathing technique. Maybe might even leave a Heimlich maneuver. Mindfully misunderstood. Where I co-host shows with my brother Cameron, and like I said, I'm on all social media handles.
That's a bet. Then everybody knows Sir Hale.
Super Sunday.
Yeah, everybody knows this is Sir Hale. Tell them about where they can find you at.
First of all, Humble Dad, shout out to you, man. I just got to give you your credit and your flowers, man. You put together really good shows and really good questions, man. So I just want to send a shout out to you and to the lovely ladies. Love y'all. Y'all setting a new standard for how men see women, and I want to give you a big salute. And to my brothers, love y'all, man. Much respect to you. You can find me here on Humble Dad whenever he invites me. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button if you want to see me connect with him, because whenever I can, I'm rocking with HD. Appreciate you, man.
That's a bet. I appreciate you. Hey, and then my dude, Mr. Uncle Ricky tonight. What can they find you, bro?
What's good, everybody? Thank y'all so much for having me on tonight. I appreciate all y'all time and y'all input. It's good discussions. I appreciate it. Y'all can find me here on YouTube under Ricky Williams #TWT. You can follow me here over on Instagram at rdubs. That's ARE_DUBBZ. We have Truck Chronicles. I'm a working man, hard working man, take care of my family, right? So you hear me in the truck when we getting it. You know what I'm saying? I talk boxing and life, but you got to get through the boxing first, right? And with that being said, y'all take care of yourself. Y'all know who it is, man.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is.
Y'all have a great night.
I love that one. Hey, then we got my boy Dwayne. Listen, man, you was really quiet tonight. You know what I'm saying? What can they find you, bro? I said for you, Dwayne Jones Photography. You know what I'm saying? You want you get some good photography. Hey, shout out to Dwayne. Fly him out to wherever you need him to be. Right? All right. Hey, it's been a wonderful show. I appreciate y'all time, man. Until next time, we out here.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Good night, panel.
The boy is dangerous.
Seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.